What is up, you guys? Namacon here, bringing you my perspective as to what entertainment is bringing us. And welcome to another new episode of Worthy or Not, where I talk about characters whether they are worthy of joining Super Smash Bros. Ultimate or Multiverses. And today is a big one for the Super Smash Bros. Series for third parties. As today, I'll be talking about a pretty requested character for this series, Spyro the Dragon. This guy has been this guy has been around for a long time. This is like one of the few 90s mascots that actually survived. So, let's see if he's worthy of joining Super Smash Bros. So, Spyro the Dragon has been around since 1998. He first started in the play in the PS1 era. The first three games on the PS1, well, the PlayStation One, were developed by uh, Insomniac game by Insomniac Games, and he was legally speaking, he was owned by Universal, but people mainly associate him as a PlayStation character. It wasn't until Enter the Dragonfly where he decided to where he went multi-platform. Unfortunately, that game is very infamous. It's considered to be the worst game in the Spyro franchise as a whole. And then he went with A Hero's Tale, which from what I've heard is a little bit better, but still not a great game. And then he went into the Legend of Spyro trilogy, which I've only mainly I finished the first game like a few years ago. I did not like that game at all, honestly. But it was successful enough for it to be a trilogy, so that warrants it. That warrants that warrants Spiral in its favor. And then after that, it Spiral rebooted again into Skylanders. This series was super popular. Like, yeah, I don't think you guys have any idea how extremely successful this franchise was. Like, seriously, there were so many toys of these guys. These guys were everywhere, like literally all over the map, all over retail stores during the 2010s. Albeit, I do feel Activision really overexposed these overexposed these guys. The supply, the like there was demand because there were a lot of kids that really wanted the toy, wanted the Skylander of their own. The games were pretty successful too. And but it really put a stain in for Spiral fans in particular, because it wasn't really a Spiral game. It was literally the reason the first game was titled Spiral's Adventure to get Spiral fans to play the game, but it really put a sour taste in people's mouth. And after this game, like, they literally like reduced Spiral's role. I think until like the last game, I think it was Imaginators, where not only he was a very prominent character, but they also included Crash in the game. But it was but it was unfortunately it was too little, too late during that time, and they wanted to move on from the Skylanders series franchise, and less than a year later, they released the Crash Insane trilogy. So Spyro, he's it's not really, yeah, he's been in a rough patch, as time goes on. So do I think Spyro is worthy of joining Super Smash Bros.? I Yes, I believe he is absolutely worthy of joining Super Smash Bros. But there are really huge hurdles that he has to go through, that I feel. So let's get into the move set. So some of the move sets that he would bring into the table, he would bring straight out of the games. I feel there will be no issues on him bringing new move sets straight into the game. Like for the specials in particular, for as a neutral special, he would breathe fire, as in like in the games. Uh, he as a side special, he would dash around. He would dash around with his horns hanging on, and as for as for the down special, he would ground. I think he would ground. I think he should do a ground pound similar to Yoshi, since I know I know like I said before, it'll be similar to Yoshi, but he does that in the games, and I feel that'd be perfect as his down special, or maybe it could be a down air. Now I think either could work. As for the up special, since he is a dragon, dragons are able to fly. So I feel that as an up for an up special, I think he should fly. Although the problem is after with Smash 4 and Beyond, they have removed the ability they to for characters to be able to glide. So I don't know how they could work. I don't know how they could work around on his gliding abilities, but I do feel with his up special, he should be able to fly with no issues. I think it should be similar to Pit. Honestly, that's how I feel. As for the alternate colors, as you can see right here, made by Hyrule 64. I'll put the link to I'll put the link of it. I'll credit him down in the description down below. As you can see, he has his main color, the blue color, green, yellow, the red color, and I think the green one is supposed to represent Nasty Nork, and for the purple and the pink, purple, and dark Spiral. I think I think the dark Spiral actually does exist in. I think that was I think that was a Skylanders thing. Maybe it was a Spiral thing, but I think that was more prominent in Skylanders. But but I feel that at first final smash, I think he should be able to use like a huge ass flamethrower. Like as you can see, with, with as you can see with that picture, he has a lot of. I haven't played the Spiral games in a while, but I do feel that he should be able to use some special powers. I think I think it should I think it should be ideal if one of the special if the final smash should be one of the special powers he uses from the Legend of Spyro, since he since in the Legend of Spyro games he has he has some godlike powers in that game. So but if they do want to really want to stick with the first three games, I think the some of the powers in the first three games could work. But as for the alternate colors, I think I think he should have a I think he should have colors based on Ripto, Cinder, um, uh, Moneybags, Hunter, Hunter the cheetah, Alora, uh, and I think that's all I can. That's all the side characters I can think of. I've mainly played the first two Spyro games. I haven't played the third game yet. But yeah, but let's move on to what I think the stage could be. The stage should be artisans from the very first game. Like I don't know how I don't know how it would work, but like but the reason why I chose this is because this is Spiral's home. This is the home of the dragons in the Spiral universe. It's a it's a very peaceful land there. So and I feel that Artisans represents the games perfectly. And as for the music, they the 100% should get the main theme along with the Artisans theme main theme. A lot I think the main theme should get its own Smash remix, along with the fact that, along with Dark Hollow, Idle Springs, Aquarian Towers, maybe add some of the music from The Legend of Spyro or Skylanders. I think that could work wonders. But so I think that's it for what Spyro could bring to Super Smash Bros. But but as I said a few minutes ago, he has huge hurdles. And what are the huge hurdles? Here's one huge hurdle. Crash Bandicoot. Now, Crash now Crash and Spyro have collaborated many times before, and starting with these games in particular, with Crash Purple and Spiral Orange. I actually have played Crash Purple before. It's not a good game at all. But from I never played Spiral Orange, but from what I've heard, it's even worse compared to Crash Purple, which is insane to think about because Crash Purple was pretty bad in and of itself. But but they have collaborated before. Spiral was in the GBA version of Crash Nitro Kart. He was in Crash on the Run. He was in the Crash Team Racing remake, along with Hunter and Nasty Nork, and he was also in the new Crash. He was also in the new Crash game. I forgot the name of it. I think it was Team Rumble. Yeah, I think it was that Team Rumble, the live service game. Yeah, along with Ripto and Alora, I believe. Dude, yeah, this is still crazy to me that they added Ripto before Spiral in Crash Team Rumble. That's nuts, dude. That's actually absurd. But so what's with the what? Why is Crash a hurdle for Spiral? Yeah, notice that I said that Crash Spiral has been added to Crash games. Yeah, yeah. Spiral, as time goes on, has been downsized as a Crash Bandicoot character, which it's kind of it's kind of a shame because during their peak years in the PS1 days, they they have they were pretty popular in and of itself. They uh they had a pretty big overlap between each other, but the the thing is like they have the ability to stand on its own. They both of these characters have the ability to stand on their own. And nowadays Spyro is relegated to a Crash Bandicoot character. But also the other thing is Crash Bandicoot is way more popular than Spyro. It's not even close. In the U.S. in particular, I think I think the popularity gap between Crash and Spyro isn't that big. But Crash is more popular, but Spyro is right up there too. In Japan, oh my god, the gap is way too big. It is super. It is too big. Yeah, Crash is a huge deal in Japan. Spyro, nope, unfortunately, not the case. Yeah, Spyro is unfortunately not very not very well liked in Japan, as far as I know. I think it's because from what I've heard, the way they implemented the camera in the games in particular were not particularly well liked in Japan. So I don't even know if the Reignited trilogy even sold in Japan. I'd be I'll have to go see. And yeah, I think Crash and Japan are like two of the biggest hurdles in for Spyro. And if honestly, if yeah, the thing is, Crash needs to be added first before they even consider adding Spyro. Like adding Spyro before Crash, that would be absurd. That would actually be absurd. I love both characters equally, but we all know Crash is the more popular of the two. Like it's not even like Like adding Spyro before Crash would be like, would be like adding Daffy Duck in Multiverses before Bugs Bunny. Does that sound that sounds absurd, right? Yeah, that would be that would be that would be that. So yeah, that's basically it for my thoughts on Spyro in Smash. I feel that this purple dragon is absolutely worthy of joining Smash. He has more than earned his place. He would fit right into the Super Smash Bros. Family. But the thing is, but like I said before, Crash needs to come first before we could talk about Spyro. All right, you guys, that's it for today. So, do you think Spyro should be added to Super Smash Bros? Yes, no. Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you guys haven't, and make sure you follow my Letterboxd, Instagram, and backlog down in the description down below. This is Namicon, and I'll see you next time.